Hi, I'm Richie Zellon, and this video is the second in a series of 10 easy jazz blues lessons ideal for beginning jazz guitarists or even rock guitarists that want to gradually get their feet wet in the jazz waters. Now, even if you are a more advanced jazz player, I believe you can always benefit from expanding your repertoire of jazz blues heads. After all, let's keep in mind that these compositions were written by seasoned jazz musicians for all level of players. For this second lesson, I've selected a popular blues written by none other than John Coltrane, Bessie's Blues. And this is a simple 12-bar blues with no fancy chords. Of course, you are free to go nuts over it using all sorts of cool substitutions that you might already know. But one thing, like with all the blues heads I'm teaching in this series, I first recommend that you listen, of course, to the original as well as other versions of this tune. And you'll notice that this one is usually played really up-tempo, but don't let that intimidate you. Remember, this is jazz, and in jazz you can play any tune at any tempo you desire, no matter what tempo it was originally introduced in. What I'm going to do next is play it at a regular tempo, not as fast as Coltrane, and improvise over a couple of choruses so you can get a feel for the tune. Then I'm going to play the melody slowly and comment on what is going on. And note that I don't use tabs or any notation in these easy blues lessons. Like I always say, these are very memorable and easy to recall themes. So I advise that you grab your guitar and be prepared to watch, listen, and learn. Here it goes. Okay, so we're ready to learn. And by the way, this is in the key of E flat, just regular E flat blues, 1-4-5 progression. And we're gonna play it right here in 6th position. That means I've got my index on the 6th fret. And we're gonna look at this in 4-measure segments. So let's look at this. We start out first measure. Okay, we're starting here with this G on the 2nd string, which is the 3rd. Goes down to the root and to the flatted 7th. And then it repeats the same motif on the 1st string, which is the 4 chord, A flat, Okay, so it's 3, 1, flat 7 in the key of A flat. So the first two measures, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's that little 8th note that leads to the third measure back to the 1 chord, the E flat 7 for 2 measures. So some nice syncopation in there. Da, 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 da. So let me play those first 4 measures again all together. 2, 3, 4. And you can embellish that and do it like this. Okay, do a little double stop here. All I'm doing is I'm adding the B flat on the first string on the first measure, and I'm sliding into the third on the second string. And there, I'm playing that tritone, which are the 2 guide tones of the E flat dominant chord, the 3rd and the flat 7. Those are the 2 most important notes in that chord. They define the chord. So, same thing here. Okay, so let's go on to the next set of 4 measures. We're going to the 5th measure, and we're on the 4 chord, which is A flat 7, and again we're starting with this C, which is the 3rd, and it would go like this: 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, that's a little bit more complex rhythmically speaking, a lot of syncopation, but if you kind of get a feel for these rhythms, memorize these rhythmic figures, man, your playing is really going to start swinging, because you can take these ideas and throw them anywhere. Anytime you solo over other stuff, over other blues, I mean, this is the key to, swing, is to learn these rhythms. So let's look at this again slowly, these second 4 measures, measures 5 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. That leads to the last 4 measures, but let me give you some alternate ways of playing this so you can embellish it if you like, especially if you're going to play it slow like this, and most of you are. I don't think most of you that are beginning players, or I mean beginning jazz players, are going to play this at Coltrane's tempo. So here's a we can play that tritone, which is the 3rd of the A flat, the C, and the flatted 7 here. So, and then okay, now we're on the 9th measure. So the last 4 measures, we're over the 5 chord in the key of E flat, and the 5 chord is B flat. Okay, and we're starting 5, 3, 1. 3, 5. Then we're going to the 4 chord, A flat. So 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, and then back to the 1 chord on the 11th measure, and that starts. He plays the 9th, which is the F on the 2nd string, the root, and ends on the 13th down here, which is the C. Okay, and then there's a little pickup back to the beginning at the end of the 12th measure, which is so. So the last 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two. So you might notice me looking down. I'm actually looking at the lead sheet from the original real book. And the reason I'm doing that is because, like most jazz players, when I play this, I tend to change it around on purpose. I hear it different ways. And if I'm not looking at the music, I'm going to teach it to you probably a different way each time. So I'm trying to teach it to you the way it's written in the real book, in the original real book. And then, once you learn it, you can do what you want with it, because that's what jazz is all about, okay? So now I'm going to just play it all 12 measures together, real slow, so you can hear it played very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four. Three, 4, 1, 2. And that's it. See you next time. Have fun. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you want to learn more, I want to encourage you to visit my website, jazzguitarrichiezellon.com. There you'll find hundreds of free lessons with downloadable PDFs and MP3s. You can also register for my newsletter and instantly receive a free copy of my book, 20th Century Jazz Guitar, featuring dozens of transcriptions of phrases by the most influential players in the history of jazz guitar. And as if this were not enough, you will also receive 3 videos where I teach you my favorite phrases from the book. So don't miss out.